Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and in this video today, I will be telling y'all my top 10 favorite Markiplier alter egos. The rules are pretty simple. Pretty much my only options are any Markiplier played characters who are canon to the Markiplier lore. So yeah, let's get started. So coming in at number 10, we got Actor Mark. He's rude, condescending, and everybody hates him, yet we still end up cheering with excitement whenever he gets a cameo. Not only does he help the theorists in the community make a timeline, but he also is very important lore-wise. Even if Actor Mark doesn't have the best personality out there, he still accomplishes what he sets out to do, character-wise and in-universe. Plus, without Actor Mark, there wouldn't have been any Wilford Warfstache or Darkiplier. So I guess that's like the one and only thing we can actually thank him for. He does seem to be the main villain of the Markiplier lore, and he is just absolutely filled with lore. However, I believe that there are lots and lots of other Markiplier egos that just have way better personalities. So with that said, let's move on. So at number 9, we got Murderer Markiplier. Now y'all might be thinking that is a weird spot to put Murderer Markiplier. It's a Markiplier ego that has only appeared once for a brief amount of time, and that doesn't even have a confirmed name. I'm just calling him Murderer Markiplier because that's what his name most likely is. But just hear me out, because I see so much potential in this new character. Not only is his design really cool, but I also feel like he would be an amazing new villain that Abe would have to face off with. I already talked about this a little bit in my latest Markiplier theory called Abe's Story, I'm pretty sure. But pretty much in that video, I said how Murderer Markiplier's cameo most likely takes place while Abe is more new to the detective business, or at least it takes place before the Who Killed Markiplier version of Abe. So I would absolutely love to see a new Markiplier-made project that takes place before Who Killed Markiplier, where Abe, along with one of his old partners, would be facing off with Murderer Markiplier. I just really hope that this new addition to the Markiplier egos will have its fair share of importance to the lore. Step aside, Indiana Jones, because Illinois takes the spot for number 8. Illinois is a pretty cool character who actually ends up teaching you a lot if you end up following him in a heist with Markiplier.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about the traps. They always seem to be perfectly timed to miss you if you're going at a casual walk. I think they count on people panicking and jumping around.
Plus, at the end of y'all's adventure, y'all end up going to monkey heaven. Why? Because why not? If you're ever watching a Markiplier lore project and you see Illinois, you know that you're gonna be in for a good time. I mean, come on now, how many other Markiplier egos can say that they've been to lion heaven, dog heaven, and bee heaven? Illinois's adventures are certainly the most unique out of any of the other Markiplier egos.
I'll see you around, kid. Thanks for the fun adventure. Oh, and I'm sorry if you fell in love with me. They always do.
And for number 7, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Jim. Now I know what you're thinking, why is Jim in number 7? He should obviously be in number 1, I mean come on, it's Jim. And yes, my apologies. Jim is now at number 1. Forget 7 through 2. We don't even need all of that. None of that matters. All that matters right now is Jim. But in all seriousness, Jim is one of the funniest Markiplier alter egos. And without Jim, what is there? Zero Jim? I mean, come on, we want all the Jim. Why? Because Jim. That's why.
Jim!
But now, coming in at number 6, we got the Colonel. Here's a little fact about the Colonel. Whenever I was first watching Who Killed Markiplier, it took me a while to realize that the Colonel was being played by Markiplier. The thing is, with most Markiplier alter egos, their personality seems to be based off of just one single emotion. And that's fine, it's nothing bad, but it's pretty cool that the Colonel seems to have a lot more personality than the average Markiplier ego. And also, kind of like Actor Mark, he is filled with lore. because not only did he like run away with Celine while Celine was still dating actor Mark or something like that, but also, as we all know too well at this point, he ends up becoming Wilford Warfstache. And who doesn't love Wilford Warfstache? Although I'm not including him in this spot, I'm only talking about the Colonel specifically. Wilford Warfstache will be appearing later on in the list. By the way, speaking of Wilford Warfstache, number 5 is Engineer Markiplier from In Space with Markiplier. Now listen, I'm including old Markiplier as Engineer Markiplier as well. You might think, oh, that's not fair because I'm not including the Colonel as Wilford Warfstache, but the Colonel and Wilford Warfstache, even though they're the same person, they have very different personalities. Engineer Markiplier and old Markiplier, their personalities aren't that different. So that's why I'm including both of them in this one spot. Ah yes, Engineer Markiplier, the crazy but not psycho, explosive loving Markiplier ego. Besides you as the captain, this dude is practically the protagonist of both parts of In Space with Markiplier. And Engineer Markiplier does have lots of like good emotional scenes.
I spent an eternity in hell rebuilding this stupid machine and you threw it all away! Captain, I'm tired. I don't know when the last time I slept was.
Plus, he also has lots of funny scenes.
Captain, did we make it? Oh, Captain.
So all in all, Engineer Markiplier is a pretty good mix of like lots of emotions and stuff to make up his own personality. Plus, old Engineer Markiplier is just downright hilarious.
Hey, Doc! I won't let you do it! I won't let you destroy the universe!
So it's a pretty good blend of emotions to make a good partner for you as the captain. But yeah, not too much to say besides that. So next up on this list, we are going back to Who Killed Markiplier, because number 4 is Damien. Damien is probably the most pure and innocent person in the whole Markiplier lore. He is one of very few people in the Who Killed Markiplier video that's actually taking Markiplier's death seriously, and his relationship with Celine is one of the best duos in the Markiplier universe. Well, besides Abe's and Wilford Warfstache's duo, nothing can beat that. But Damien is still one of the most likable and respectable Markiplier egos. And the fact that he's like a super important character to the Markiplier lore is a big plus. And I don't even think I need to explain why Damien's important to the lore. There's also the fact that he was best friends with actor Mark and the Colonel when they were kids, but you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, moving on to number 3, we got Yancey. The second the internet first saw Yancey and saw all the songs that he sings, he immediately went up there with Wilford Warfstache and Darkiplier in terms of popularity. And Yancey actually sings some pretty good songs, but I'm not going to play any of them because I don't want to get copyrighted. And funny enough, Markiplier actually confirmed in the 10-year live stream that Yancey's tattoos change based off of like the setting or the lore that is happening. I'm not fully sure on what he said, but it was something along those lines. But pretty much, Yancey is another one of those characters where if you see him having a small cameo or anything, you're gonna end up cheering with excitement. He's such a cool and fun character. He's like loving and caring, but at the same time he's a prisoner who likes to stab people. He has a pretty awesome cameo in Space with Markiplier Part 2 that confused the heck out of me lore-wise when I first saw it. But that's pretty much it for him. Let's move on to number 2, which is actually Darkiplier. Now, Darkiplier is one of the most legendary Markiplier alter egos out there. Man, nothing like the two souls of Damien and Celine combined with your dead body from Who Killed Markiplier to make the villain actor Mark always wanted. If anything, Darkiplier is more of a protagonist considering how much of a bad guy actor Mark is. But anyways, I'm pretty sure Darkiplier is one of the oldest Markiplier alter egos. And he's also one of the most popular. The way Markiplier describes Darkiplier is by saying that he's a social manipulator. I have no clue what that means, but it sounds pretty cool. And with the Damien YouTube video, we actually get to see what's going on inside of the mind of Darkiplier. And you know, it's pretty cool. Everything about Darkiplier is just pretty cool. So yeah, there's not really anything else to talk about Darkiplier wise. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the honorable mentions before we start talking about number 1. And the honorable mention goes to Ed Edgar. Ed Edgar is a redneck Markiplier alter ego that sells babies. What more do you want in life? He was so close to getting on this list. I was having to debate whether or not to put him on the actual list, so he would have definitely made the 11th spot. So our next and final honorable mention goes to Stan the Waterman. He would have definitely made the 12th spot. But now let's move on to number 1. So for number 1, my favorite Markiplier alter ego is Bim Trim. It's Wilfred Warfstache. You guys already knew that. He was like the only person who I haven't put on this list yet who's like a big deal to the Markiplier lore. Wilfred Warfstache is funny, crazy, psychotic. He's just awesome. I especially love the transition from an adventurous colonel to a crazy Wilfred Warfstache with a pink mustache. The reason Markiplier even has the pink mustache as his logo for his YouTube channel is because of Wilfred Warfstache, because Wilfred Warfstache is older than the actual Markiplier lore itself, and a lot of people liked Wilfred Warfstache as a character even before the lore. Wilfred Warfstache does such an amazing job at being this kind of clueless, yet psychotic, yet just wanting to have a good time partying and funny and fun character who doesn't understand the world around him, but just goes with the flow and rolls with anything that's happening. You know that YouTube channel Death Battle? I want to see a death battle between Wilfred Warfstache and the Joker. I know that's kind of random, but that's just kind of the vibe Wilfred Warfstache gives off, just the better version of the Joker. And that's right, you heard me, I like Wilfred Warfstache more than I like the Joker from Batman. That just goes to show how well thought out of a character Wilfred Warfstache is. But at the end of the day, all that was just my opinion, and if you also have a different opinion on the matter, feel free to put it in the comments. I'd love to hear y'all's top 10s. So make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video.